Imposter syndrome. That's what this is. That's what this feels like. This whole, I've manifested something that I desire. It's here, it's real. Now this is the reality. The dream becomes the reality of my life experience. But now my life experience is totally different from anything that it's ever been. And so there's this sensation that I am an imposter in it. That the other shoe will drop, that the bubble will burst, that something will just fall apart and go back to the way it was. It's the feeling that I don't belong here, that I'm not actually living my life, like I'm pretending to live someone else's, like I'm pretending to be something. I want to explore this, and I want to explore all of the fear that's here, and I want to be really honest about it, and I want to feel it fully. Instead of fighting it, because I don't want to fight it. Everything that we try to resist, everything that we try to control, it sticks around. I want to feel it. I want to invite this in. I want to admit to it. There's a lot of fear. What's all the fear? What if I'm not enough? And I want to feel it fully. What if I'm not enough? What if I'm not what you expect? What if I'm not what you want? What if I fail you? What if I fail? What if I let you down? What if I'm not who you think I am? What if I am not capable? What if I'm not enough? What if I can't hack it? What if I can't provide or show up in some way? It's just, what if you're disappointed? What if you don't accept all of me? What if I'm not enough? What if I fail? Now, in this context, I'm talking about a relationship, but I think it applies pretty generally to any new situation anybody is stepping into. What if I screw it up? What if it falls apart and it's my fault? What if I lose it? What if I just can't get it right? What if I do it wrong? What if I'm not enough? What if you change your mind about me or how you feel? What if you don't want this? What if you don't want me anymore? What if you decide you don't like what you see? What if I'm not enough? It just keeps coming back to that. What if I fail? And what if I'm not enough? What if I make a mistake? What if somehow everything goes wrong? And the thing is, I feel the burning intensity of desire in my soul for this. There is clear awareness that running, that hiding. That anything in the opposite direction of this is unwanted. That would be self-sabotage. That feels sickening. That feels like, fuck no. Because this is a fuck yes. This is fuck yes. It's such a big fuck yes. It is so wanted. It is so the fulfillment of desire that it brings up all of this intense fear of, now that it's here, what I really, really want. I can't pretend I don't care about this. This is not some limp desire that I could take or leave. And so if something happens and it's no longer a part of my experience, it's just that, okay, this is not that. This is a big deal. This is for all the money. This is for all the chips. This is go big or go home. The stakes are the highest that they have ever been. This is what's wanted. And so the fear is massive to match the size of the desire and the intensity of it. We want this so much. What if we fuck this up? What if we lose this? We would be crushed. That's why there's so much fear. I want it so much. That if something happened, that if I wasn't enough, that if I failed, that if it fell apart, it would hurt so much. That's why it's so scary. And really, looking at it, going all the way through with it, so what if I'm not enough? So what if I fail? What if it all falls apart? And everyone is disappointed in me, and I lose it all. And I go back to being lonely, to being alone. And in reality, that's just where I started. That's just right back to where I was, asking for this. Being alone. So let's feel into that. What if I lose it all? What if everyone is horribly disappointed in me? What if everyone finds out they really don't like me? What if I fail everybody in every way possible? Just a complete and utter total fucking failure at this, at being in a relationship, at being a part of a family. What if I just fucking fail? And everyone walks away, scowls, shuns, rejects me. And there I am, alone in my unworthiness, having my unsuitability, what are words? Proven. My unworthiness, my unlovableness, just proven to me. And I'm just a big fucking failure. And I'm right back where I started. And that part of me that wants suffering will be delighted and say, see, I told you so. I told you you'd fail. And that part of me will be so satisfied. And I'm not judging that part. Even though it scares me. I know it's there. I'm not telling it it's wrong to be what it is. And I'll know, I know that there would be satisfaction in that. A part of me would feel satisfied, and ultimately I could line up with that and let myself derive satisfaction. And then what's the loss? If the whole drive for anything is the good feeling of it, then there's a way for me to find good feeling even in the total absolute failure of my endeavor, of my pursuit of desire. Even in the loss, in the failure of all of it, there would be a part of myself that found pleasure, and I would have the ability to tap into that pleasure and let it be satisfied and find good feeling. And so there, how could I lose, ultimately? And also, I would be right back to where I was before starting. And I would see and know the truth that it is better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all. To have tried and failed for even the briefest moment of glory. That if I'm falling and I'm gonna hit the fucking ground, at least for a minute it felt like flying. And I would never have known that if I hadn't jumped. And just for that, I would jump again. And I want to be really honest about this fear and not shun it or push it away. But let it be here and let it be felt fully. And going all the way through with that, letting myself feel all the way into that what if I am not enough? What if it ends horribly? What if I lose and everybody hates me and rejects me? And I let myself take the weird, twisted, deviant satisfaction in that. What if I do that right now? It's scary. It scares me. But I see it, and I admit to it, that it's there, and so I know, and there is a sense of calm in knowing that if it all went horribly sideways, and I lost it all, and I was found to be unsuitable, that I could tap into this part of me that would take great satisfaction, that takes great satisfaction in that dream, in dreaming of that pushes on that imagined reality like a bruise, like a loose tooth, as has been described, and savors the pain of it. And I can let myself experience that satisfaction right now in going all the way through with that imagining. Knowing that there's a way to feel good there. There is something in me that would be having desire fulfilled. And I can let that happen. I can let that part enjoy. I can align with enjoyment, and I can find a way to feel good. It's still scary. It still feels really scary to let myself go there. And there will be more work with this, certainly. I was making food. But it does feel good, at least, to acknowledge all the fear and to let myself feel it. Not pretend it isn't there, not hide it, not hide from it. And to just go all the way through with that projected vision. So what really happens if then you want to see down this road? See down this road. All the way. Feel all of the hurt. And recognize too, again, that nothing has ultimately changed, that everything went back to what it was. Feel a little dizzy. Feel my heart pounding. And I feel that satisfaction of ego, of whatever aspect, shadow, in that thought of just sort of an I told you so. And maybe back to the safety of being alone and having that reinforced. I just want to be honest about it. And on the flip side, because I'm experimenting and exploring this, started with this notion of imposter syndrome. That when we manifest and we create something that we want, it naturally feels a little foreign, especially perhaps the first time that we do it on purpose, because we're always creating, we're always manifesting, but we don't usually know that we're doing it, and we're not usually consciously a part of that process. So when it happens, when the desire is realized and we realize we called it in and we let it in, there is this extra sense of, oh, I've never done that before. now I am having my previous identity called into question, because I've never been the manifester. I've been the one who tried to manifest. I've never played this role of the one who manifests successfully. So that feeling of being an imposter, yet again, and I think it plays out in many ways, in many parts of life, again, in new things that we step into that are expansive and unfamiliar, whether it is a relationship or a career position or just a new experience that we're embarking upon. That feeling that we don't belong there, that we're actually pretending, and we might somehow be sussed out, revealed to have no idea what the fuck we're doing. Which in reality is most people most of the time. But what if we play with it the other way and say, what if I'm not this small, insecure self pretending to be big and confident? What if I am a totally stable and self-assured, secure being that's pretending to be anxious? What if that's the role I'm playing? What if I'm not some powerless, helpless human, but I am in fact a divine and limitless being with all of the power in my hands and pretending at not having it? What if I'm not this shy, lonely bachelor pretending at being in a relationship, but actually a fulfilled and happily married individual with a family, confident and comfortable in that role, just pretending to be something else, pretending to be lonely and small? Again, what if I am so big and I am just pretending at the smallness? What if I am radically successful and pretending to fail? What if I'm not afraid, I'm just pretending to be? There's something in that. What if I'm so much more than enough? What if I exceed any and all expectations? What if I am just the bee's knees? What if I get it all? What if I win? What if I win and just keep winning? What if I only ever succeed and get bigger and better? What about that? What if I am so much more than enough and I'm just pretending at even being afraid that I might not be? Because I know. What if I know that I am so much more than enough? And I'm pretending to be afraid that I'm not. What if I'm pretending to be afraid? There's so much coming up in myself. And I imagine there will be more. Only more because I am only more. But I'm going to keep working with it. I'm going to keep exploring this. I'm going to keep getting curious and being more and more brutally honest with myself, within myself, about what is being felt, about what's going on in here. I'm going to keep paying attention. I'm going to see only more and understand only more, because that's what I want, because I am driven to that by desire, and nothing stands between me and my desire. I still feel the other stuff. It's not all gone. I didn't chase it away. But it's not the only thing I feel now either. There is a growing sense of confidence that recognizes the fear doesn't need to be eliminated. It's not about eliminating fear. It's not about rooting out every self-limiting belief and every unhappy story. It's not about that. It's about paying attention and listening and looking. But it's about realizing that those things don't limit us. Those things don't stop us. It's about feeling the fear and doing it anyway. It's about bumping up against the limit and flowing around it, because you realize that nothing is stopping you from doing that. If you don't see it as an obstacle, if you just see it as a feature of the landscape, then that's all it is. This fear doesn't stop me from moving forward. The fear of failure doesn't keep me from trying, from succeeding, from enjoying. Doesn't do any of those things. It's just a landmark along the way, not an impediment. Not a flaw, it's a feature. I get to enjoy it as such. I get to appreciate it. I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna heat up some food and eat. Because I think in this moment, even though I would like to explore this and take this further, I would be pushing, and I just want to let it rest here for now. So there will be more to explore, certainly, maybe soon, but for now, we are complete. Blessed be.